Hey YouTube, I'm back at it again with another YouTube video. Sorry, I haven't done it like this in a while. Let's see how long it will last. That's definitely gonna happen. If this falls, the video's over. Okay, so I have this subject that I've been wanting to talk about for a long time, and by that I mean like for years. Because I think maybe last year I watched some videos on YouTube about escapism while I was in a class called personality psychology and abnormal psychology. And we did go over like dissociation, depersonalization, derealization, and basically a lot of the symptoms that come with dissociation are either with DID, which is like you have a different identity, which is basically, this disorder isn't really that supported by research, but that's like what was previously known as multiple personality disorder, where you actually have a different personality talking. And then there's dissociations where you're losing touch with the reality because of an anxiety attack or because of depression, like really deep depression, and you just start to dissociate like mentally from the present world. So I came to this conversation with a friend about like how someone, I'm gonna say like a person that I know, but I very much relate to this person because all the things that she exhibits, I used to have as well. But God, I hate this. I hate traffic. Let's say back in, I don't even want to say back in middle school because I do still like do this sometimes. Going back to escapism, where if life is really hard at this particular moment in time, I'd spend a lot of time in my own world. Whether it's watching a lot of anime or K-pop videos for hours on end, or just like dancing, or like reading manga or something like that, or just drawing or reading or anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be those weird things, just to like escape from the real world of that moment. And I found that like typically at that point in time I wasn't really self-aware of like, I guess, who I was or something, like some type of actualization, or like that has to do with identity. So I would generally apply with, what am I trying to say, like if I had a favorite anime character, I would be that anime character. I would project myself onto that anime character, or like they would project themselves. No, I would, yeah. And then like I'd find myself subconsciously, because of the hours of studying the person or the anime character, subconsciously become the person, to where like nothing else in the world really makes sense. You're just in that character's world. You're in the video game, or you're in the anime. So you can do anything you want because you're in the anime. Anxiety doesn't matter. So that's what I found as escapism to me. However, it can get to an extreme where you start to disbelieve or disprove your own actions, or like your capacity of doing things, to where you think you can do things but you really can't, and you're so passionate about knowing that you can't do it because your mental state is still saying, I'm still like this anime character, I have these characteristics. It's just not like expressed blatantly, it's just who you are now. So I have found that to be comorbid with, or co-occurring with, anxiety. So that's my take on that. I mean, I could talk a lot more about this, but I just like spitballing here about how I feel about escapism. It's not a bad thing in moderation, but I found if you have like a low self-esteem, or someone that's like emotionally putting you down and you're not able to like make your own decisions or know who you are, you can get very captured by it to a point where your personality has changed. But yeah, that's what I think. I mean, I could go into a lot of other things. Like, I mean, from then until now, middle school until now, I've always been into some kind of fandom. The varying degree has decreased significantly because of how busy I've been with school and life in general. But yeah, I have been a general, like, extreme escapist in part of my lifetime. So I really associate myself with that sometimes. With that type of personality. Where it's like, oh, I am an anime character, therefore I can sing in front of large crowds. There's no stopping me, and I just go for it, and I don't care. Like, the anxiety is going, I don't care what's going on. And people who really know me are like, what? You know, like, I'm usually a shy person, but 5 seconds later, I am Sakura or something, I don't know, some anime character, and can do whatever I want. So, it's a coping mechanism for anxiety for sure, but it can go to some extremes depending on what's going on truly in their life. Maybe someone is telling them they can't do something, they've never believed in them, so they don't believe in themselves of who they are today, but they believe in a character, so they'll identify with that character. I don't know what the case is for a person that I know, but that's as far as I can go because that's my experience. Exposure to knowledge about this is important because this happens to a lot of people and no one really knows how to deal with it because it could be like a symptom of social anxiety. And I do know a lot of people that have had social anxiety or any type of disorder that just caused them to like not like who they are, so they just become something else and they're not. And it's really strange. It's like weird, but I'm like, I get it. Because I've been through that, but dang, like, not to judge or anything, because that's not good, but, yeah, just being knowledgeable of that. I really wish that everybody could take, like, some kind of interpersonal relations class, sociology, anthropology, psychology, any type of class that has to do with people's behavior and development and, like, knowing, I don't know, epigenetics, everything. Like, I wish everyone could just educate themselves in that and apply it to their lives because it would really help with a lot of, like, world issues, probably. I don't know. I could talk about this on and on, but this subject, like, nobody talks about mental health, man. This is why I'm so encapsulated by the field. Like, I love the field so much because there's so much to talk about and nobody talks about it. They just kind of hide it because it's like, oh no, you know? They treat it as like as if it's an ailment, not a strength. It could be a strength. People that, you know, let's look at the positives. People that probably suffer with some sort of mental disorder are able to, I'm going to say like a good percentage of people that have, let's say, anxiety, for example. I don't want to say all of them are introverted, but many of them are. I know extroverted, anxious people, but, I mean, there are people, but they are the type of people, this is from my experience because I'm an introvert, they probably have a general idea of how people work because they just sit and people watch a lot, so they observe behaviors, they observe situations, conflicts, so like, I mean, even though you might see being quiet or introverted as a weakness, it could be a strength. It could be the greatest leader because they just kind of have this intuition of knowing how people tick and like how behaviors are and just like observing and listening, for example. Like, this is the biggest key thing in, I think, leadership is so important. So, yeah.